Okay. That's the advice card at the end there. So we have the High Priestess coming up. What do you know, Sagittarius? Whenever the High Priestess shows up, there's always some information that we have gleaned or we have. She's the keeper of all secrets. She's the keeper of all knowledge. But we do have access to the same knowledge that she does. But that's through our intuition, our gut feeling. There's something that we usually know when this comes up. It's whether we trust our intuition or not. She's a very passive energy. So we're usually not acting on what we know when she shows up. That's just as an energy, right? So this might be the week where you actually take steps to act on what it is that you know. And I kind of feel for a lot of you, this is career-based or business-based. Of course, the energies can be applied to anything. And for some of you, yeah, it could be, you can apply the energies to a relationship. That's why I always keep it quite open on the energies, because we can apply them anywhere. But have a look. So if she knows information, if she's the keeper of all secrets, very passive, right? And that's probably what how you've been. Something that you know, I don't think you've been saying it. Feels like it comes out this week because we have the Ace of Swords coming up at the heart of your reading. And this is a truth, this victory through clarity and the truth. This is usually when things are communicated. I always point out with aces that they are potential for new beginnings. And you have two aces coming up in this. It kind of feels whatever this new cycle is that you're beginning, that you're trying to begin, and it feels like it's happening this week. It has to begin with a conversation. It has to begin with truths coming out. Now, you might be waiting for a truth, someone to tell you. No, I say truth, not that someone's been lying. I know sometimes people look at it and think of secrets and lies. I see it more as a knowing. You know, we know something. Doesn't mean we've spoken it out loud or even acted on it. Sometimes it takes us acknowledging it in ourselves, you know, what the truth is about this. And so, but this is at the heart, this is the focus. So whatever it is, it's a new way of communicating. It's a new belief system, even a new perspective. So this could be very spiritual energy, because I do think, you know, it's swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, and how we communicate them. The thing with the High Priestess is she is the feminine counterpart to the Hierophant. He's the masculine version of her. So he's the kind of earthbound. This is what we do. Very kind of, you know, in religious texts and that kind of thing, the rules, the traditions, he governs that. Now, she also governs that kind of knowledge, but the ethereal version, you know, the stuff that comes through, not through book learning, but through our senses, through our intuition, right? Our higher selves. That's what she represents for me. So I kind of feel like this is something that you've known for a while, that you kind of have, you've just not acted on it. And it starts off this week with a truth, with speaking a truth, learning a truth, or communicating. You go forward with this new way of thinking. Where does it stem from? It's a very interesting energy that's coming up here. We have the Six of Wands. So this might have been recognition. This is why I kind of am going along the right, the route of someone's work or business, because this is recognition. This is victory. This is recognition for the work that you've put into something. Now, whenever this comes up in the past, it always makes me wonder, whatever the reaction to this is, right? So we might have been recognized for something. Yes, of course, even in life, in non-business or work situations, we can be recognized for stuff. This is where we feel victorious. It's pride. We've taken pride in what we've done. So this guy climbs up on his horse and he says, hey, look at me. There's my victory wreath. Look at what I've succeeded at. Look what I've done. That's what this energy is. Now, I kind of feel maybe just going to jump in where I kind of see a story, and I kind of see one where it can be that you're in a relationship. It can be that you're working with a group of people, that, you know, your business is tied to someone else. But I kind of feel like you're at a place where it's about what you've done on your own, Sagittarius, what you've managed to achieve on your own. This is not about your partner. This is not about anyone else that you've worked with. This is about your own individual success, your own truth, what you've accomplished. All of that comes up. We don't have cups here, so it's not about feelings. But if you have a look at pride, wands, right? Passion, creativity. What is it? Look at what I've done. We have the Nine of Pentacles here. Pentacles are tangible representations of security and stability, right? So the things that we earn, this could be great abundance. This could be the home that we've created, whatever it is that you've done. But you're enjoying it because you've done it. This is independence. This is confidence. So this is where you are this week. And I kind of get the sense that with the High Priestess, this might be because we've got a sword here. We can cut things out or people out when the Ace of Swords comes up. And please understand, I'm not saying you're leaving partners or leaving your job or anything like that. This is recognition. Like, you might have been recognized by other people. But I think this is the week, Sagittarius, where you recognize what you've achieved yourself. You know, sometimes we can have so many other people say to us, oh my God, you're so great. You've done a great job or whatever. But you've not really, you know, sometimes where you've just done it by the flying by the seat of your pants. Like, oh my God, yeah, okay, great. That went off. But you don't really stop to think about it. This feels like where you stop and think, wow, you know what? I really did do this. I did accomplish this. Look at everything I've created. I've done it off my own back. I did this. No one else did this. And it's to do with your intuition. I mean, the High Priestess, she could be a tarot card reader. Some of you might be tarot card readers. Is this to do with your tarot? You know, have you finally decided to get out there? And whether it's tarot or astrology or whatever, right? She's all of those things. Spiritual stuff. Have you decided, oh my God, you know, I can do this. I can create abundance from this. I can do something. The whole reading seems to be about recognition. But it kind of feels like this was initial phases of recognition, you know, that you were successful at what you did. This might even be that you did a course or something, right? That you succeeded at it. You were good. You got the recognition that you deserved after that. And it's a progression because now you recognize, look at what I've achieved. The only thing I will say about the Nine of Pentacles, and each of the cards has a, you know, an energy that's a light energy and a darker energy, a blessing or a curse, as I call it. Same way in that fire can be a blessing. You can keep yourself warm with it. You can cook with it. And it's a curse in that it can burn your house down or it can be a threat to life, right? So it's how we use that energy. And here, yes, it's great if you recognize what you've achieved. But the downside of this card is when you get stuck in that, it becomes a gilded cage. You either get trapped by the money that you're earning. You either get trapped. I mean, think about it. This is very earthly. Some of you might have gifts, you know, tarot gifts, astrology, or whatever you're trying to do, Reiki, something intuitive, something that calls on your intuition. But you've got a full-time job, right? You've got a full-time job that you've done really well at. And that's how you kind of suck, because you're thinking, well, it's a guaranteed paycheck at the end of the month. But your calling is this. Your calling is this. So I do see that as one use of this energy that, you know, somebody might be connecting with. So the Nine of Pentacles does say, yes, it can become a gilded cage because you might enjoy that God and you might enjoy the abundance that you've created, but there's a whole world to explore outside of this. So it's always a good idea to be very wary of our comfort zones. Like, are we just staying in, like, I call it the big fish in the small pond syndrome, you know, where we just get stuck where we are. Don't explore further afield because it's comfortable there, right? If you do decide to go out of that comfort zone, there's even more recognition coming in for you. We have the Queen of Wands coming up here. And she is the celebrity. She's fire sign, right? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Your energy. Guys, I kind of get the sense, I'm going to say this again. Speak your truth. Really be who you are. Step into your energy. Don't worry about what people say to you. This is not a time to conform to what you think people should say. And maybe that's what you've been doing. I mean, Sagittarius isn't really known for that. I have a Sagittarius rising, so I understand Sagittarius energy very well. And it's very similar to Aquarius in that, you know, you guys pretty much do kind of march to the beat of your own drum. And it's usually the Knight of Wands, that's your energy, right? Where you're in it for the experience. You take away like what you experience from it. Very positive energy. But this is a growth of that. I always see the King and Queen of Wands as being in the spotlight. They're very sociable. And if there's nothing to do with work or business and you're not a tarot card reader and you're watching this and thinking, that's a very specific message, it is, right? I want you to give an example of how the energies play out. But think about it. Even if this is a relationship reading, you know something about the relationship. Time to have a conversation with your partner about it. Yeah, the relationship might have done really well. Have you been feeling like a single person in the relationship? So, I mean, there's so many variations that I could go through, but I have like a limited time in the general readings. And that's why I go for the major story that comes up, the main energy that comes up, and try to point you in directions if it connects with you in another way. With the Nine of Pentacles, though, yeah, I do feel that's whatever it is, whatever this relates to in your life, be very wary of the comfort zone because there's more available to you. You can shine even brighter than you are now. In fact, I don't think you're shining as brightly as you can. She knows what she wants. She's another very confident energy. And it feels like whatever this represents for you, it's led to your increased confidence in yourself. That's why she's so confident. She knows, look at her. She's spectacular. Love all the reds. Red's my favorite color. So, spectacular energy. She knows what she has and she is willing to use it to get what she wants. But think about it. We have this sort of truth. This is almost like a combination. These two I see as the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords, where the Queen of Swords is completely authentic, speaks her truth, doesn't care about the result. She's been through too much. She's been through too much to really try and bother lying or pretending or faking. So she can come across as kind of like a bit of a kick in the nuts sometimes because, no one's expecting it. And that's kind of coming through here. But for you, it's not so much the hardship that you've been through. It's you've done too much. You've put in too much effort into whatever it is that this is. So you feel good about yourself. And so you should. What is the advice here? The advice is the Ace of Pentacles, my lovelies. So, the Ace of Pentacles says, are you thinking of a new way of making money? And this doesn't have to just be up money. And I'm kind of going there because it does feel very kind of career and business for me. But the aces, like I said, are potentials for new beginnings. So these are doorways that get presented to us. Do we walk through them? That's our decision. That's our free will. And with the Ace of Pentacles coming up, I love this. My favorite ace. You'd think it'd be the Ace of Swords because I'm all about speaking my truth. But I love the Ace of Pentacles. Why? Because this is it starts off slowly, but it's that firm foundation. It's placing each brick in the foundation carefully as we begin something new. And it's something that we're going to be in long term. It's not short term. This can be, if this is a new relationship that we're getting into, it can be that, this is the person that we see ourselves with for the rest of our lives. If it's a job that we're starting, it's what we plan to do until we retire. Business, we plan that's going to be our legacy. So it's very profound energy when we get the Ace of Pentacles. I always see it as the minor arcana version of the sun. And it sits, sorry, I'm wheezing. We see it sitting under the Six of Wands. So this is the natural kind of progression of this. Whatever you've had success in, whatever you've done well in. So, if this is work, this business, you might think that, you're taking this skill set that you have from whatever you've been doing into a new area. I kind of see it as maybe you've been working for someone else. You've done really well in that company. And then all of a sudden you think, well, you know what? I could just as easily run my own business like this. This could be my own business. So it's that kind of energy that's coming in, guys. I love it. I do love it. With two aces, with the Queen of Wands, that's your energy. And this recognition, that's the crucial point here. Do you stay or do you go? And I think that decision gets made. And there's no wrong decision. You will shine no matter where you go, right? There are never any wrong decisions. But I kind of feel, I'm going to say this to you, what your reading is saying is very simple reading. The High Priestess. You already know. You have a gut feeling about this. That thing that you might think, I just know I'm going to be really successful at this. And so we have love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. And as soon as I saw this, I thought of her. She is beloved. Like, people flock around her. She's the social butterfly. People love to be around the Queen of Wands. She kind of walks into a room and all eyes are on her. So I get that, that's people find her very attractive. She is very attractive. So maybe that's you getting showered with love, or just recognizing that, you don't have to stay in this safe space that you created, this, whatever this gilded cage might be. You don't have to stay here because you will get that kind of love further out. Oh, okay. Oh, we have this. Spend some quality time together. It's imperative that we spend quality time with those we're in significant relationships with, listening and talking to each other. So that might be a reminder. For those of you that have been working really hard, and some of you have with this energy coming in, don't forget to spend time with your loved ones. Otherwise, this might be, if it's a relationship for you, that's what it shows, This could be someone who's been working really hard, and maybe someone in the relationship. Gen work can go both ways, right? Maybe if this is a relationship reading for you, then, I'm going to say this. It's very practical focus. So somebody's really focused on their work or money or building a business right now. That's never good news for a relationship. I mean, people can understand it for a little while, but we have to spend some time out with our loved ones. Let them know that we still care about them, right? And that's kind of like, then There's a bigger push for that. There is a bigger push for that. Because I can usually read energies like for anything, right? You can use the energy for whatever it is. I could get the Ace of Cups, bloody Lovers and all that, Two of Cups, and you could still apply that to business. But it's energetically, this seems like the focus is very much on practical stability and security. Now you might say, but Jay, I'm doing it for the relationship. Okay, but the relationships are more than the home that you live in, the money that you have, the food that you guys eat, whatever. I understand that we live in a world where rent and, price tags are a thing, but sometimes just quality time together, right? Quality time together, that's going to do more for your relationship. Even if you can just spare an hour and it's one pure hour, just you and that person focused on each other. A leg up. See, that's what I'm saying. In this reading, it came across very much as an I can do it, or you're relying on yourself. Now, the flip side of that is, do you need help? Do you need help with something else? Especially if you're starting something new. Because the Queen of Wands, she knows how to get help. Like, she'd know who to go and ask for. That someone will help her. Not that she's that. And asking for help doesn't make you weak. So you need more information on something, right? Because there is some truth that comes out. Never forget that. The thing is with the Ace of Swords, let's go back to that for a moment, because I don't think I really talked about that a lot. And you're thinking, yes, you did, Jay, move on. But with the Ace of Swords here, yes, it's communication. Yes, it's conversation, but it's at the heart, right? It's at the heart. You've got 2 victory cards here. But the victory comes through the communication. And yeah, you've done well to build this by yourself, but that's a 9 in the present. What more do we need? What are we going to grow? Because that's a new seed coming in. That's something that you plant. Do you need other people now to grow this? A leg up says, ask for help. That you might need other people in this. And I was getting very solo energy in this. Dear wonderful you, intimacy is scary. See, this is what I mean. This is someone's focused on their work and not focusing on their intimacy. Intimacy is scary sometimes. It means you have to let someone else get to know the real you, not the perfect, flawless mask you wear for others. No, it's time to reveal the cool one, the passionate one, the imperfect one that is totally you, without artifice or walls. Yes, you will be exposed and vulnerable for a time, but it will be so worth it. This is the only way you will know true closeness with others, and you will also be close to spirit and to us. There is amazing freedom that comes when you let go and just be yourself with another or a group. Release from the invisible bindings that keep you from intimacy is truly empowering. So may we support you wholeheartedly in this choice. You will know yourself better, and we hope learn to love yourself as much as we do. I'm going to cough 1 second. So sorry, Sagittarius. Excuse me. Life is about who we are with others. So share it. You will be so glad you did. Loving you so much. Now, that ties in beautifully with this, and it kind of gives a different spin on the energy. So if you think about it, if this is you've been kind of figuring things out on your own. I said to you right at the beginning, Sagittarius is about being authentically you, just stepping forward and being you in all your glory. Because it feels like you've been hiding in the shadows a little bit, or, keeping to yourself how wonderful you are. That's the High Priestess, right? She's very passive energy. And it may be because you've been trying to achieve other things, because you've been trying to work on something. But it's about shining now. It is about shining bright. And that's where your true prosperity comes in. Especially if you're winding something down, like with the 9 of Pentacles. It's a 9, right? What comes after that? The 10. But, 10s are very similar to aces, because that's the completion of the cycle that comes in. And you have an ace here. So this is all about starting something new, something bigger, something better. But you're going to do it by shining bright yourself. Whether that's in a relationship, whether that's because sometimes say you're trying to build something or work at something. You might need a certain bunch of colleagues to work with you on something, or to be let on a team or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Whatever it is, even if it's a relationship that talks about intimacy. Have you just been focusing on work as a way to avoid getting out there and dating? Getting out there and being seen. She's very sexy, So, she can she's very attractive. She attracts people to her. But it's about stepping into that. The truth, your own truth. You may have a new way of thinking, a new way of seeing things. But anyway, you cut this, it's about you shining, Sagittarius. That's what this week is about. You shining with your own authenticity and who you truly are at your core.